In this tutorial, I will show you how to finish up your pop art portraits. So you should have something that looks like this. All of your layers should be high contrast so that you just have black and white showing in each of the layers. You should have each layer masked properly, except for the bottom layer, obviously, because if we mask this layer, we would just be revealing the teal background. So once it looks like this and you're happy with it, what you can actually do is get rid of these layers, and you can hit Command E to merge that layer. And here, what I want you to do before you get too far is File, Save As, and save it as a new document. Maybe call it Merged. Okay, so that we know this is a new version. Version 3, version 4 also works. Okay, now I'm going to add color. So the first thing I want to do for my color is go to my Add New Fill or Adjustment layer. Click on Solid Color. I'm going to pick a color for my skin first. I would go with a light color, okay? So it creates a good contrast between the rest of the things in your portrait. First thing you're going to do is go up to the blend mode and change it to multiply. Okay. Right now this color is blending with this color because this is transparent because I changed the blend mode to multiply. So we need to create a mask so that this color is only on the face and neck where I want it to be. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is hit Command I. Once I click onto the mask layer, hit Command I and hit Inverse. Now my entire mask is black, meaning it's hiding this layer but revealing everything below it. Okay, if I hit Command I again, it's white, which means it reveals this layer in theory hides the layers below, but because it's a multiply, it's transparent, it's showing some of the layers. Okay, anyway, so Command I goes back to black. Now I want you to go to Select, Load Selection, and you're going to load your portrait selection. So now you can see I have the marching ants all around my portrait. Okay, this is going to make my life a little bit easier. So I'm going to switch to the white brush. Okay, again, if you click on the little ones right here, you know that it's pure white and pure black. Before you guys start to do this, make sure all of the options up here for your brush, the mode should be normal, opacity 100%, and flow 100% as well. I'm going to change to a hard edge brush for the color because I want there to be smooth brushes. Also, you want to use a basic brush, which these are not basic brushes. If you don't have, why don't I have my basic brushes here? If you don't have basic brushes, which are just the simple round ones, you can click on your little tool, little gear here. Just click on basic brushes and hit append. Okay, and now they're down here. Okay, so hardness at 100%. Maybe I'll go a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is for my face. So I'm going to color in everything besides the face. Because I have this selected, it will not let me color in here. I'm clicking here, but it's not letting me color in, which is exactly what I want. So I'm going to fill in, oops, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to fill in with white my face. And I would avoid the whites of your eyes here. And take your time and make sure that this is a nice, clean job. Now you want to be really careful around the neck where the shirt meets up with the neck. Because the hair is sort of black along the edge, I don't have to be too careful, which is nice, but it'll be different for everyone's portrait. Now, if you want to leave the lips a different color, avoid them as well. Okay. But I would definitely avoid the whites of the eyes because you don't want to look like you have jaundice or something. Okay. So once that's all filled in and looks good the way you want it, again, Command plus, you could zoom in and make sure if you have an area that you don't like, you can hit X on the keyboard and switch it out and clean up any areas that you need to clean up. And this needs a little bit more green over here. Okay. And now that I'm in here nice and close, I can see some spots I missed. So you want to do a really, really careful job on this. Okay. And that should do it. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to press Command D on my keyboard to deselect. Okay. I'm going to go back to my black and white cookie, add another solid color fill layer. So now I'm going to pick a color for the hat. Again, the first thing you do is go to the blend mode, change that to multiply, click onto the mask, go to select, load selection, click on portrait, hit OK. All right, now this is for my hat. Okay, so I'm going to fill in everything. Oh, wait, I want to hit Command I first. Sorry, Command I. So now I want to fill in my hat with the white brush. Okay, so again, I don't have to worry about the edges because of the nature of my selection here. One thing that you guys will probably need to worry about, I'll show you in the neck area, is selecting the previous mask so that you get a nice crisp line around edges, but because this is all black in here, you will never be able to see the colors blending, so I don't have to worry about that. So again, it all depends on your portrait. I think I'm just going to get rid of that there. Okay, so again, Command D to deselect, solid color fill. I need a color for the hair. Let's go with like a blue. Okay. Multiply. Okay, I'm going to hit Command I for that. I'm going to go to select, load selection again, portrait, okay. All right. And so here again with white, I will fill in everything that I want to be blue, the blue hair. And actually, I'm just realizing okay, hold on, let's go back to this layer. I screwed something up here. All right, I'm gonna just do Command A. I'll delete that mask. So, okay, so now it's black. So I go to select, load selection, portrait, and fill in white with the white brush, my hat. You're gonna be really careful where the colors meet up. Okay. And there we go. Okay, so that looks better. Again, solid color fill. Oops. First, Command D to deselect. Solid color. I need a color for my shirt. It's like a orangey color. Okay. Change the blend mode to multiply. Command I to invert the mask. Select, load selection, portrait. Okay. Now this is just for my shirt. So I can go with a kind of a big brush. And I'm not going to go too close to the skin here. And this trick will come in handy for when you need to, oops, zoomed in a little too much there, huh? Okay, so now what I can do is I can actually click on my color fill layer for my skin. I'm going to press Command and then click on the thumbnail for the layer mask. And what that does is it selects the skin area. And then I can go to select, inverse. Where is it? Up here. And now click back onto my color fill layer here. And when I color in, it won't let me go beyond that selection. So it's a pretty neat trick to be able to avoid the overlapping of things. Okay. And then I can add, actually while this is selected, I could go ahead and add another solid color fill layer. I'll pick a color for like the lips. That's probably crazy. Okay, let's do like something like this. Okay, and that looks really creepy right now. Go to multiply. Okay, and all I want is the lips to show. So what I will actually do is fill in everything black except for those lips. And once you understand the concept of masks, you can do this in any way you want. Okay, so while you are doing this, you should be renaming your layers. Not hate, hat. Okay, and face color. Okay, so now because we did the solid colors here, what we can do is actually very easily change any of them. So let's say we don't like the hair and the hat are too similar. So I can just double click on this and I can lighten up the hair if I want to a better color. Okay. And maybe I want to actually brighten this up to more of an orangey color. Okay. When you're all happy with that, what you can do is actually create a new blank layer above your color fill layer by just clicking on the new layer button down here. So you can see the little checker marks. It's a blank layer. And then you can use a variety of brush tools to do some cool things in the background if you want. Okay. So there's all kinds of brushes. I showed you guys in class how to get extra brushes. So if you click on the little gear here, you can go to load brushes. On the computers at school, if you click on digital, you can get to a brush folder under Melchione Digital. But in case you want to download brushes, you can also access that on your downloads folder. So like I have a subfolder. Oops, where'd it go? Downloads. All right, I don't know what's happening here. I'm gonna just cancel this. Anyway, load brushes, and this is already in a folder, so I can load this brush. It's an ABR file. Hit open, and it will add those images, those brushes to the bottom of my brush palette. So you could pick any one of these, you know, any color. You can make it really big. Vary the sizes. Okay, until you get a look that you like. You can also add, instead of doing a solid color, you could also add a gradient fill in the background. You could go crazy. Okay. This is a version I did, and you can see how I added all sorts of different brushes to my background to add some texture. Okay, so play around with it. Make sure you're happy with it. Okay. Oops. Okay, so let's say I like this. Maybe I don't like this crazy color. So maybe I'll tone this down a little bit. You know what I can do? I'll just change the blend mode to multiply or to lighten maybe. Overlay. Meh. Or I could leave it normal and just change the opacity so it's a little bit more subtle. Okay, let's say I like that. What you can now do is hit File, Save, because this is a new document that we saved with the color, and then I can actually go to Layer, Flatten Image, and now everything is saved. So I'm going to save this as File, Save As, Pop Art Portrait, Final, or merged, or flattened. Okay, so I'm going to just call it Final and hit Save. Okay, now you are going to go to File, New, and we're going to do a 3x3 grid. Our original size was 6, so 18 inches by 18 inches. Okay, first thing you're going to do is go to View, New Guide Layout. Like I said, we're doing 3, so we're going to do 3 columns, 3 rows. We're going to make sure there's no gutter and no margin. Okay, and hit OK. Now I'll go back to this, hit Command A. You can do Command C or use the Move tool. It's up to you. I'm going to do Command C, then Command V, and that pops it right in. Now I can do my Move tool and line it up with the corner. And then you're going to see these little pink lines that sort of pop up when it's lined up appropriately. Okay, and then I hit Command J and duplicate it again, Command J. Okay, now I can hit Shift, select all my layers. Oops, I forgot to hit Command J. Command J, and there you go, and Command J. And now you have 9 portraits all in the same document. Okay. Before we go any further, you can also, if you want to have a white border between, instead of doing 18, you could do 18 and a half. Okay, and then when you go to View, New Guide, View, New Guide Layout, here you do want a gutter. So you would have 2 white borders sort of between at a quarter of an inch. Quarter of an inch times 2 is a half. That accounts for the extra ½ inch. So now you have these extra little white borders. So now it's still in my clipboard, so I can easily continue to pop him in, and it's the same deal. And you'll see those little pink guides come up and tell you that everything is lined up appropriately. Command J, duplicate, Command J, and scooch it over. So now everything is spaced, but you have this white border between. If you like that, great. If not, you can do it this way too. Okay. Now would be a good time to rename all of your layers with the location of each layer so you know what's going on. All right. So I'll just start here at the top, which is actually this image here. I'm going to go to my adjustments panel, which is either up here or you can use the black and white cookie at the bottom. I'm going to click on Hue and Saturation. First thing you want to do is click this little box. It clips it to the layer, so it only affects the layer immediately below as opposed to all of them. So I'm going to click that, and now I can just slide this over And you're going to see this image change a little bit. Okay, and you can play around with saturation as well. It's up to you what you want that to look like. Now, if I didn't have this little box checked, all of them change. That's not what I want. So I want to make sure that's checked. Okay, and now I would go on to the next layer and scooch it over some more until it's different. And again, make sure you clip it to that mask. Okay, and so on and so forth until you are happy with your portrait. Okay. When you're all done, you add a new blank layer and add in your signature, which I don't have on my computer, but keep it small and subtle in the corner. Okay, and that is your final project. When you are all done, File, Save As, call it Final, well, last name, Final. I'm going to save it as a PSD, and then I can also go to Layer, Flatten Image. This is going to make it a smaller file size. File, Save As now. Change the format to JPEG. Save, and then hit OK. And that is the file that you will submit to me for grading. Okay, but you want to have 9 distinctly different portraits. Okay, you can also, if you feel like you're not getting, your portraits aren't different enough as you're working on this, you can actually go backwards, and then you could pick a color here and change it here. You know, and then merge this and copy this into this document. Okay, and it'll give you a little bit more creative control that way. All right, so you can do these individually first here, and then combine them in your larger document. Okay, and that about does it. Thanks for watching.